Yo, 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 what is up? It is your boy Keep It Real, and I want to thank you guys for tuning into today's video. Now, I'm going to be talking about the elephant in the room, and that is Cyberpunk 2077. Now, let me make myself clear. I originally bought the game in 2020, and I was very disappointed with the product I received. Now, is that to say that after a few years of patch that it was the same? No, I replayed the game and after it released on next gen titles and I had a fairly fun time. But right here, let's look. 87% of the 14,118 user reviews in the last 30 days are positive. Let's look at the all-time. 80% of the 567,652 user reviews for this game are positive. Guys, this game has resurged. This game, after the Edge Runners animes, has taken off. This game is one of the best looking games that I have ever played in my entire life, and that's tough to say. But as a first person, open world, futuristic set game in this day and age, Cyberpunk is a top dog. I hate to say it because of the original release that was filled with bugs, filled with graphical issues. The FPS was terrible on last gen consoles. But you know what? And this is where I'm talking about. Let's keep looking at the reviews, and then I'll get to the actual nitty gritty. So on its original release, it received an 86 Metacritic score and a 7.1 user review score on PC. Now let's go real quick to. We're not gonna go to the Xbox One or PS4 because we know it was god awful on there. But on the Xbox Series X, it's sitting pretty high. 7.1 user review, and it's sitting at an 86 on Metacritic for critic reviews. And then let's go to the PS5. The PS5 is sitting at a 75%, and then you go to user reviews and it's sitting at 7.1. So that goes to tell you that this game is not terrible. But when Phantom Liberty released, you can tell there was a dramatic shift in the perspective of this game because now everybody that used to play the game. Look at this, guys. Look at that surge in reviews, just reviews. Early access release date, December 2020. Actual release date, accurate. Accurate. That 2.0 update is an absolute loving addition to the game, and that is what I'm talking about. When a gaming company truly loves their craft like CD Projekt Red, they do not give up on something because they are forced to release it because people want to make money. Let's be frank. The reason Cyberpunk released in 2020 was not because of CD Projekt Red. It is because somebody that basically owns CD Projekt Red wants to make money. For example, if Take-Two wants to make the most money possible from Rockstar Games, we'll never see GTA 6 until we're so old that we got so much money that we can dip it all into GTA. GTA is waiting for like the pinpoint in the population before it releases. And that's exactly what I'm referring to. After continued support, the game getting updates, them listening to fans, modders getting hired onto the team, update after update after update. And yes, games should not be releasing in an unfinished form. But that is what we get. That's exactly why Starfield has so many issues graphically. But the game itself is fun. I have a fun time playing the game, but the game is really just it feels incomplete. It truly does, and and I have a blast with it, but it feels incomplete. Cyberpunk at the time when it first released was fun, but it felt so incomplete. 3 years later, and I can say that from hopping on to Cyberpunk, I have played one of my favorite games of all time. Just with the vibes, with the graphics, with everything. Man, I can drive at high settings on a laptop without DLSS and hit 60 FPS steadily. And I even hit 40 FPS with ray tracing. I was shocked. This game just looks so well done that you can tell this is the game that they wanted to release. If you have not picked up Cyberpunk, I would recommend that after this update, pick it up on sale on Steam. It's 35 bucks. Don't miss out just because you're questioning if there's bugs. There were bugs, but because somebody actually loved their game, they fixed them. So many companies release unfinished games that have the potential of being amazing and they never get fixed. And then they just get left in the mud. But Cyberpunk hasn't died since its release. If you notice, there was a ton of quiet time and then the Edge Runners anime came out. Boom, resurgence in the game because everybody wanted to see Rebecca. And they wanted to fight, man. They wanted to play with the Sandevistan and they did. But now, man, I could tell you that I am in love. I'm in love with this game. I can't believe that they stuck with it for all these years. I can't believe it's already been 3 years since this game released because it looks so good. It does. It really does. So, before I leave, I want to take a look at the IGN reviews for both the old one and the new one. So, I skipped already to the end where the bad stuff was, and I want to just point out the score they give them at the end of this.
So we have to talk bugs now. I've only been able to play the PC version so far, but even so, the frequency of bugs was a frustrating nuisance. It's nothing game-breaking, but hardly an hour has gone by without something going awry, and performance is only okay even with very high-end hardware. That makes me especially worried for what last-gen console versions might be like.
But look at the game. Like, you guys, this game looks so good.
And remember, we unfortunately can't show footage of any of these issues yet due to CD Projekt Red's pre-release restrictions. For now, you'll have to take my word for it when I say that I've had important conversations undermined by characters glitching between incorrect poses or referencing invisible objects. I'd frequently get calls overlapping with other conversations, and had to sit through drives with my character bobbing like I was in a run animation.
Yeah, and all those
During
pop
the few
ins.
story moments when I did get to see my own character model, I was usually missing my customized hair. And while I primarily had visual issues, I did have to reload a save a couple of times when mission progress was halted. None of this stopped me from loving the stories being told, but they did dampen moments that otherwise would have been powerful. A day one patch is expected, as well as likely many others after that, but CDPR has indicated it will focus on stability and performance, which isn't what gave me the most trouble. To be fair, its exceptional support of The Witcher 3 gives me faith that a lot of these issues could be sorted out with enough time, but right now, it can be a bit of a mess. In a way, I'm sort of jealous of people who first play Cyberpunk 2077 6 months from now, when I assume a lot of this has been fixed.
Look at this verdict, guys.
Cyberpunk 2077 kicks you into its dazzlingly dense cityscape with few restrictions. It offers a staggering amount of choice, and your decisions can have a tangible impact on both the world and people around you. Those stories can be emotional, funny, dark, exciting, and sometimes all of those things at once. The main quest may be shorter than expected when taken on its own, but the multitude of optional missions available can have a surprisingly powerful effect on where V and Johnny's story ends up.
Come on, get to the verdict, baby.
It's a shame that frustratingly frequent bugs can occasionally kill an otherwise well-set mood, but Cyberpunk 2077's impressively flexible design makes it a truly remarkable.
Okay, it received a 9 on its original review by IGN, but I can assure you that that 9 was very skewed because the game was glitchy, the game was empty, and although you guys saw the graphics looking great, it was also provided by CD Projekt Red, so it looked phenomenal when it came out. Now, the reason I wanted to look at this review is because look at this bad boy. Because this, I can tell you, is exactly what the game looks like.
Review and found that one certainly feels more canon than the other. There's also an entirely new ending that's been added to the base game that feels like it might be the de facto true ending, and takes Phantom Liberty's themes of self-sacrifice and near-future alienation and uses them to wrap up V and Silverhand's story.
We stick to the plan. After that, guess we'll see.
I may start an entire new save to experience this story fully from beginning to end. With all of the impressive changes in Cyberpunk 2077's free 2.0 update that arrived alongside the DLC's launch, starting fresh is actually something I'm looking forward to.
Shit. Thing needs a little go-go juice to wake up.
On that note, while Phantom Liberty isn't required to install the 2.0 update, it's hard to say that the revamped gameplay didn't positively influence my experience as I played through 20 hours of Phantom Liberty. In particular, the newly reworked skill tree that makes it easier to build your character towards specific playstyles was a revelation. Whether you're pursuing a hacker build, augmented build, or something else, this alone makes Cyberpunk 2077 a much better experience than it was in 2020.
Because there was really
To
no
be clear,
character
these are
build per
improvements that
se.
all Cyberpunk 2077 owners can experience, even without buying Phantom Liberty. The expansion doesn't include much in the way of brand new abilities, but does feature some exclusive clothes and weapons. The weapons in particular are very much themed after the spy stories Phantom Liberty has taken inspiration from, giving us access to extremely fun, very powerful stealth tools that will let you infiltrate the deadliest den of thieves without getting caught. If you're planning on coming back to Night City for another run, I cannot recommend enough that you take a detour to Dogtown while you're here.
Not one move!
I said in my review of Cyberpunk Edgerunners that CDPR now has a blueprint for where to go with Cyberpunk 2077.
Yes, they do.
And Phantom Liberty shows that the studio already had exactly that in mind. Between a more sophisticated level of storytelling with excellent performances, smarter insights on the cyberpunk genre and its dystopian themes, and landing on top of a much improved gameplay experience thanks to its fresh 2.0 update, Phantom Liberty marks a new chapter for Cyberpunk 2077.
And it received a 9 again. And I'm going to tell you that this time, I believe it deserves that 9. They not only reworked almost everything inside the game, the combat, the skill tree, the AI, the cop system, but they also improved the performance. So now that you can buy it for $35, maybe I would have told you to buy the 2020 edition like that, but this edition that they recently updated is worth the full price. Maybe it's not your cup of tea. Maybe it's not your type of game. But just knowing that CD Projekt Red was the creator of Witcher 3, I was hyped for this game. And I was so disappointed. And I can happily say, after patience and an actual game dev caring about their product, I can say that I've experienced Cyberpunk the way I thought I would experience it back when it released. I am so excited to keep diving into this game, playing in Dogtown, to keep seeing all these graphics because, guys, I was so let down, so disappointed. I just didn't know why they just left me wanting so much more from this game. And I could just tell you right now, I am excited beyond my belief. With all that being said, guys, remember to leave a like and subscribe. Check out Cyberpunk if you have never played it. I promise you will have a blast. And if you don't, I'm sorry for leading you the wrong way, but 99% sure that you will. You will have a blast in one way or another, whether it's creating who you want to create or pursuing combat how you want to pursue it. I love everything about this game, except sometimes I don't like what they talk about because they sound stupid. But hey, you can't iron out everything, every single piece of dialogue and make it, emotional. Sometimes they really do say some stupid stuff. But that's my only thing. All right, guys. You guys have a wonderful day.